organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Here's what's just ahead tonight on Daily Iowan TV. We'll bring you the latest coverage on last night's Slater Hall evacuation.
And while you were away, University of Iowa student government was hard at work. Find out what's on its agenda for this year.
And in sports, our Monday evening whip around is back in action.
That's all coming up next.
This is Daily Iowan TV.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Tanner Sigworth.
And I'm Mary Caldwell.
We're starting off tonight with the latest information on last night's evacuation at Slater Hall.
It happened late Sunday evening after police and resident staff found unknown chemicals in a third-floor dorm room. The resident who lived in that room was found in a lounge disoriented and later went to the UI hospitals and clinics. Today, UI officials say the student is still recovering. The Office of Dean of Students is still investigating whether or not the student broke any university policies.
They had us out there for like 2.5 hours and we weren't allowed to get back in, and no one really knew anything. We kept asking our RA and stuff, and he was just like, I have no idea when you can go back in.
Be sure to follow Daily Iowan TV for ongoing coverage on this incident. The university's first report of sexual assault of the semester came out today. The University of Iowa Department of Public Safety sent out an email to alert students Monday morning. That email said a female was reportedly the victim of non-consensual sexual contact by an acquaintance. It allegedly occurred in a residence hall late Friday.
But despite the stress of last night's events and today's report, students did return to the classrooms this morning safe and sound. We hope that all of the freshmen found their way around campus with no issues.
But just in case you didn't, Daily Iowan TV's Taylor Smith has some special advice for you. Taylor?
What advice would you give to incoming freshmen about the bus routes? How would you navigate around?
Okay, so easiest way to think about it is red route Reno. So red route will always take you to Reno or Slater across the river. And blue route Burge, take you right back to Burge. So you're always going to keep going in a circle. And if you're lost, stay on the bus. You'll originally get off where you got on.
When you guys were freshmen, did you guys have a hard time getting around? Were you lost or anything?
Oh God, yes. I was on that bus for I don't know how long. You just kept going around in circles. Yeah, I gotta explore, go for yourself, take a map. It looks really dorky, but just do it. You'll learn your way around and it gets really easy after a year.
Thanks for that, Taylor. Tomorrow night, Taylor will bring us the ins and outs of buying textbooks. Be sure to tune in.
Thousands of freshmen gathered on the Pentacrest in Iowa City last night for Convocation. It marked the end of the weekend-long On Iowa festivities. The newest additions to the university were welcomed to the Hawkeye family. Multiple university officials, including U of I President Sally Mason, spoke. One freshman was chosen as a student speaker. He said he was honored to be chosen for the event and is ready to start his collegiate career.
Stoked. This was the only school I applied for, and I got in, so it was an easy application process, got through, and I'm just really excited that it's finally starting.
After Convocation, students headed farther down north for the President's Block Party. But before that, they were given tassels to remind them of their commitment to their education.
Daily Iowan TV would like to wish a big happy birthday to Currier Residence Hall. The university's first residence hall is now a century old. Built back in 1914, it was originally home to 150 women. Happy birthday, Currier.
University of Iowa student government has been hard at work this summer to reach their goal of breaking down barriers between domestic and international students. Daily Iowan TV's Michelle Nago has the story.
Most Chinese people hang out with Chinese friends and they don't talk to American people.
But student government president Patrick Bartoski says it doesn't have to stay this way.
I would think it was the most frightening experience in the whole entire world to go from a completely different country to try to go to school.
So he's working to make the transition less frightening.
And it started last week right here on the Pentacrest. The group met with international programs to talk about the importance of international and domestic students hanging out outside of the classroom.
Whether that means playing frisbee on the Pentacrest or going out for ice cream in the Ped Mall.
We have a chance to use English because when we're with our Chinese friends, we won't speak English. And it's better if we, for example, go eat ice cream and I don't know, we can talk and share experience.
So to come on Daily Iowan TV, find out what UISG is doing to combat sexual assault on this campus this year.
But first, rain in the morning and heat this afternoon. A crazy first day of classes. Let's toss it over to Katrina Doe, who's got the latest in the weather studio. Katrina?
Thanks, guys. Tomorrow should be a nice cool down compared to this humid, hot mess that we had today. Tomorrow morning will be a high of 71 with a slight chance of thunderstorms. As we move into the afternoon, temps will rise a bit to 74 and that chance of rain will continue. Evening will bring us up to 81 degrees and the rain should ease up. Taking a look at the rest of the week, possible thunderstorms could be headed our way nearly every day. Tuesday and Wednesday, we can expect temperatures in the low 80s and upper 70s. The end of the school week will continue to be in the low 80s, and by football Saturday, we will see temps near 80 with a 40% chance of rain. To finish the weekend, temperatures stay the same, and we can continue to expect those gloomy skies. That's all I have for you here in the weather studio. Mary and Tanner, back to you.
Thanks, Katrina. The university's sexual assault policy has a hot topic this last year. UISG President Patrick Bartowski says the campus group has been brainstorming ways to bring sexual assault report numbers down. As a result, student government is teaming up with Iowa City Rape Victim Advocacy Program to launch a, quote, "Don't Be That Guy" campaign. The campaign will focus on men's roles in preventing sexual assaults from happening. It will also touch on what can be done in emergency situations.
Don't be the guy that, ever tries to hurt anyone on campus or make anyone feel unsafe or uncomfortable. It's to really make sure we're all looking out for each other on campus.
Daily Iowan TV will continue to bring you coverage as the campaign unravels.
And now let's take a look at what's happening beyond Iowa. U.S. troops will not be moving into Syria, according to a statement by General Martin Dempsey. This announcement came after Dempsey stated that the Islamic State military is a regional problem in Syria and not a worldwide problem. However, he made it clear that if they were to threaten the United States, there will be a direct military action.
There's a moose on the loose in eastern Germany. Briefly before lunchtime on Monday, a moose invaded an office building in Brensden, Germany. The moose was stuck for 6 hours before officers and wildlife specialists could tranquilize the animal. Wildlife officials took the animal back to Poland. They released the moose into the wild where they think it came from.
One Liberian doctor died after receiving a dose of an experimental cure for Ebola. The drug, known as ZMapp, has been given to only 6 people in the world, and the supply is now gone. 2 Americans have been treated with ZMapp. They were both released from an Atlanta hospital last week. One Spanish priest who used the treatment died. There's no update on the last 2 Liberians who have taken the last available dose of ZMapp. Filling us in on everything black and gold, we'll now toss it to our own Whitney Blakemore, who's standing by in the sports studio. Whitney?
Thanks, Tanner. Hello and welcome to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. I'm Whitney Blakemore. On this Monday edition of the program, we'll hear from basketball head coach Fran McCaffrey. But first, we'll kick things off with our Monday evening whip-around crew who's back in action. Take it away, guys.
Hi everyone and welcome to this Monday's Whip Around. I'm Chloe Russell and here we are at the Iowa Soccer Complex. I'm here to talk about women's soccer. Right now they're doing really good in their season so far with a 2-0 season. They just played Illinois Chicago yesterday at the Wishfields and they scored 4-0, which is really good. With Chloe LaCassa, star player, scoring 2 goals. And I think they're going to do really good on their game this Friday, which is against Fresno State, who is currently 1-1. So hopefully they'll be able to pull through. David Dilanni is hoping to see more urgency, tactile, fitness, and emotion during their game. So hopefully they'll be able to pull through. Now to toss to Zach with some women's volleyball. Here we go.
Thanks, Chloe. I'm Zach Mackey outside here of Carver Hawkeye Arena, where the University of Iowa volleyball team has welcomed a new head coach. University of Iowa alum Bon Shemaski has taken over the reins of this program. Coach Shemaski spent the last 5 seasons in Marquette before becoming the head coach of the University of Iowa. The girls also had their black and gold scrimmage on Saturday, and they will open up regular season August 28th and the 29th at the Texas A&M tournament. And now to talk about field hockey, I'll send it out to Laura Belanda.
Hi, this is Laura Belanda. I'm here at Grant Field, home of the University of Iowa women's field hockey team. Recently, Lisa Cellucci, the former assistant coach, has been named the head coach of the team. 3 players have been named on the Big Ten to-watch list: sophomore Stephanie Norlander, junior Natalie Cafone, and senior Danny Hemian. They finished the 2013-2014 season with a record of 13-8. They'll start their ACC Big Ten Challenge season on August 30th in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, home of Wake Forest University. Last year they beat Wake Forest 2-0. We're wishing the Hawkeyes the best of luck this Saturday and in the rest of their season. Now let's toss it back to the studio. That'll do it for your Monday Whip Around.
Thanks, guys. And to add to that, all three of these teams are still adjusting under new coaches. Lisa Cellucci is the new interim field hockey coach after former head coach Tracy Griesbaum was fired on August 4th after allegations of bullying. Dave Dilanni is taking over the women's soccer team. Former head coach Ron Rainey traded his black and gold for the Dartmouth green. Dilanni is just the 5th coach in Iowa soccer program history. And last, Bon Szymanski now heads a struggling Iowa volleyball team. Sharon Dingman was fired from the job back in December. Dingman's Big Ten record was 18-102 over 6 seasons. We'll continue to keep you updated about all these new coaches, including sit-down interviews with Dilanni and Szymanski. Now, a downpour early this morning wasn't enough to put a stop to the Iowa basketball team's golf outing at Finkbine Golf Course. Hundreds turn out for the annual event that is held to honor the memory of Chris Street. Street, a former Iowa basketball player, was killed almost 21 years ago when his car collided with a snowplow. We caught up with Iowa basketball head coach Fran McCaffrey at the event earlier today.
It's an amazing day for our program and its history. We're full in the morning, we're full in the afternoon. Chris's dad, Mike, comes back every year, and so many of our former players are here, and we take the opportunity to remember Chris, but also to bond together as he would want us to.
Many changes facing collegiate sports right now. The biggest schools in college sports now have the chance of making their own rules with the creation of the Power Five, making those major programs that much more powerful. The NCAA Division I Board of Directors voted and passed the Power Five initiative on August 7th. The 5 richest leagues that make up the Power Five is the ACC, the Big 12, the Big 10, SEC, and the Pac-12, including independent Notre Dame. That's 64 teams total. The Power Five will be able to decide for themselves a matter of issues, including the cost of attendance stipends, insurance benefits for players, staff sizes, recruiting rules, and the mandatory hours spent on individual sports. Another new rule possibly on the horizon, allowing players to pursue outside paid opportunities. We'll have more on that later on the effect this will have on Iowa athletics. Well, that will do it for me here in the sports studio. Tomorrow we'll hear from Iowa football head coach Kirk Ferentz and squad as they decide or as they gear up to open their season Saturday against the University of Northern Iowa. Mary, Tanner, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Whitney. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get an inside look at tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan.
With this being the UI's largest freshman class in history, double rooms are being transferred into triples and expanded housing is filled to the brim. Read more in Chris Higgins' story in Tuesday's edition.
And with recent events in Ferguson, a local activist group is meeting to discuss demilitarizing police in Johnson County.
But before you leave tonight, one of America's well-known burger chains may be on its way to Canada.
That's right. Burger King announced today that they are talking with Canadian coffee shop Tim Hortons about a merger. The new headquarters would be located in Canada, so the plan to move out of the U.S. could cut property taxes for BK.
That's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV, but we'll be back for you tomorrow, same time, same place.
I'm Tanner Sigworth.
And I'm Mary Caldwell. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere? I joined and now I'm in Los Angeles, California, interning for Conan O'Brien at Warner Brothers Studios.
I joined and now I'm working in public relations for diabetes research.
SJMC.